What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of MMA Kings. I am your host, Michael Fenimore, and in today's episode, we are going to break down the very first UFC card on ESPN Plus that happened last night in Brooklyn, New York. It was a huge success when we had 12,152 in attendance. The gate was 1.23 million. Cerrone and Hernandez and Cejudo and Dillashaw, all four took home Performance of the Night bonuses worth $50,000. And Cerrone was also able to get another $50,000 for the Fight of the Night, which now he holds sole possession of Fight of the Night bonuses with a total of 16. Speaking of Cerrone, he did main event the prelim card against Alex Hernandez, and Alex Hernandez did come out in the very first round, taking the fight to Cerrone. He was pushing forward most of the first round and just landing a lot of strikes. Anything he wanted to land, he was landing. Towards the end of the first, Cerrone was finally able to pick Hernandez apart a little bit. He was landing some really big knees to the body. And in the second round, he was just coming out and taking the fight to Hernandez and basically landing anything and everything that he wanted. He had some huge head kicks. And then the last head kick that he landed took Hernandez down to the canvas, where Donald Cerrone was just able to land a barrage of punches, ending the fight by TKO in the second round. As we kicked off the main card, we seen Glover Teixeira versus Carl Robinson. Carl Robinson, for the round that the whole fight lasted, Carl Robinson was able to mount Glover Teixeira and land some huge elbows, which Glover was able to take. And I'm really surprised that he didn't, the fight didn't get stopped, but he was able to take those, and he was able to get back up to his feet. And after that, he was also able to get a takedown and secure it, where he was able to secure a what was he able to secure? A arm triangle choke. There you go. He was able to secure that in the first round. We also seen Paige Van Zant take on Rachel Ostrovich. Rachel Ostrovich was able to get some good mounts, but she just wasn't able to keep Paige on the ground. And then Paige ended up securing a armbar that you could barely see Rachel tapping, but during the replay, when they showed another angle, you could clearly see the tap. So Paige Van Zant was able to get back on the winning streak after taking a year off. The next fight we had was Joseph Benavidez versus Dustin Ortiz, which was a really good back-and-forth fight. Joseph, being in the title fights before, was really able to push the pace and take Dustin into deep waters, and he ended up winning the fight by unanimous decision. He looked really good for being off for a little bit as well, and he definitely took it to Dustin Ortiz, and Dustin Ortiz just ain't no slop. He's a really good fighter as well. In the next fight, we had Gregor Gillespie versus Yancy Medeiros. Gillespie riding a 12-0 winning streak. He looked really good coming out in the first round. He ended up landing like a total of 73 strikes to Yancy Medeiros' one. I don't know what the hell was up with Medeiros, but he didn't even look like he was prepared for this fight. I'm not sure what exactly happened to him. He's usually a really tough fighter. Not taking anything away from him, but last night he just didn't show much at all. And Gillespie was able to come out and just destroy him, pick him apart. And at the end of the second round, right before the bell rang, within the last 10 seconds, he was able to get a KO victory on Yancy Medeiros. And then we move on to the co-main event of the night. It was Alan Crowder versus a hyped Greg Hardy coming into it. Hardy had a 3-0 record, and he had won Dana White's Contender Series before. So he was definitely coming in with some hype built up. He's also a former NFL defensive player from the Panthers and the Dallas Cowboys. Switching over to MMA. He's also been in trouble in the past, for domestic violence. So he just really wanted to try a new career, and MMA was the one that he wanted to try, which he has been training at American Top Team, so he's not no chump. He definitely came out, him and Alan Crowder both swinging for the fences, and it was a heavyweight fight, so I didn't expect anything less than that. Greg Hardy looked like he had been working on his striking and taking it to Alan Crowder. Crowder was able to secure a couple of takedowns, and that just showed the inexperience in Hardy's wrestling and takedown defense. He did have a couple of stuffs from Alan Crowder, but for the most part, he was taken down with ease. As the end of the first round came to an end, you could see Hardy had never been in this position before. He had never had a fight make it out of the very first round, much less a couple minutes. So he was definitely tired. You could see it in his face. When they came out in the second round, they both continued. Hardy slowed down a little bit. He was able to build up a decent pace to where he wouldn't get wore out so fast. And then Crowder was kind of on the defensive end. But Hardy ended up landing an illegal knee to Crowder, which the referee ended up stopping the fight. And Hardy got the disqualification, giving him his first loss in his career. He tried to plead with the referee after the fight, saying that it wasn't intentional. He did it on accident. And I'm not really sure. Maybe it was just his inexperience with Crowder being in that position. I don't really think he did it on purpose. But otherwise, that's a shitty way for a fight to end. But I mean, with a legal knee, you could see the referee was definitely looking out for the fighters and what's their best interest. And then we move on to the main event between TJ Dillashaw and Henry Cejudo. Now, Cejudo had a lot coming into this fight, pressure-wise. He's basically the last guy to help try to save the 125 division. He had a lot of pressure riding on this fight. TJ coming down from 135 to 25 to take on Cejudo. So he had a decent weight cut. They both made weight though, and Henry Cejudo just came out and looked like the more powerful fighter, the bigger fighter. I think he said after weigh-ins he ended up weighing in at like 145. So he's more used to this weight cut than Dillashaw was, and you could tell Dillashaw looked like he was wore out. And much less, I really didn't think this fight was going to end at 32 seconds. I really thought it was going to go the full 5 rounds, but Cejudo was able to pressure Dillashaw, get a takedown, and land some huge strikes, which Dillashaw pleaded with the referee that he shouldn't have stopped it. Dana White said the same thing, that it was an early stoppage. But going back on the replays, you can really see that Dillashaw was definitely wobbling all over the place after the fight. He didn't know really where he was. So I don't have any issue with the stoppage. I think it was a good stoppage. I know TJ said that he wanted to fight Cejudo again, maybe at 135, but I mean, other than that, I really didn't see that it was a bad stoppage. I know they're looking out for the fighters, so I don't disagree with the stoppage. I think it was a good one. But overall, the card was really solid from top to bottom. I think for the first event on ESPN, I think they exceeded expectations, and it ended up being a really good card. So I'm looking forward to seeing what ESPN does going forward for their next cards coming up. But overall, it was a very good card. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you can subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up on the videos. Comment, like, subscribe, share it. All that good stuff. And until next time, we'll see you again. Thank you.